So maybe you've heard, maybe you haven't. If you read the newspaper or looked online in the past week, you know that two of our very own Norristown students saved two lives. Not one, but two. After a car flipped over the other day, on, I think it was Germantown Pike. It was right off of Germantown Pike, two of our own students from Norristown, two seniors, Michael Smith and Brendan Fitzpatrick, went and rescued them from all their JROTC training, Pretty sick. So you guys should go check out this next interview with Michael and Brendan to tell you what their thoughts were while doing such a heroic act.
Hi, I'm Kathy here talking with Brendan and Mike about a heroic act that they did on March 1st. How are you today, guys?
Good. How are you doing, Kathleen?
Pretty good.
That's doing good. So what actually happened on March 1st?
You want to start off?
You got it.
All right. Well, we had left school because of senior privileges, and we actually on our way to Wawa to get some lunch because we'd been doing RFDC photos all day. So as I was taking a left into the Wawa parking lot, I hear a big crash behind me. And I turn around, all we see is a car rolling. And at that point, I turned off to the right and put my car in park and just ran across the street. Mike was out of the car before I put it in park.
Yeah, I know it doesn't seem safe, but the car was going slow, so it's fine.
Yeah. After we got across the street, actually we did a lot of what was taught to us in ROTC. Checking your surroundings, making sure everything's safe for you to approach in the first place.
Yeah, because it's no good if you get hurt and they're hurt at the same time.
Because then there's no one to help them out.
Yeah.
We were the first on scene. Then another gentleman came up. We couldn't open the door because the doors had been locked, so he actually broke through the windshield with his elbow and unlocked the doors. I got on top of the car and pulled the door open, and Mike held the door open so I could go inside the car. As I was getting inside the car, I noticed that she had actually hit her head on the dashboard, so she was really groggy. At that point, I proceeded to ask her if she was all right and ask her husband if he was okay. I turned the car off because it actually can be very dangerous if you leave a car on. Just in case anything is spilled, gasoline is, the gas tank has been punctured, anything like that, you could spark, you can blow up the whole car. And actually, I was thinking about that the entire time I was there, so that's why we turned off the car. Next thing you're doing, we picked, I picked the woman first because she was the easiest to get to. I was either exfil through the top where I came in or the windshield, and I knew she wouldn't be able to get through the top, so I actually had to start to proceed to kick out the windshield. It took me about a minute. Then one of the other guys peeled the glass away.
That was me.
Mike did that. Yeah, Mike
I
has some
started
scratches.
taking apart the windshield and everything like that. That way it could be easier for her to get out. And any piece I couldn't get to, I just held back with part of my long sleeve jacket at the time. And then while he was escorting her out, I was continuing to escort her out the rest of the way until I got her about 10 feet away from the accident. That way, just in case anything else happened, she was still in safety.
Right, it was a safe distance. Then we had to proceed to get her husband out. This one was a little bit more tricky. He was actually wedged under the steering wheel and his foot was stuck down towards the pedals. I had to unclip his seatbelt and pick him up with actually one arm so I could brace myself on top just in case he actually gave out. It was difficult to get his legs under him at the first because he had no feeling in them. Once we got him up, he was all right to stand, and we guided him out through the windshield like we did his wife, but he walked out.
Yeah.
After we got a good distance away from the accident, the firefighters show up. They started to, check for anything like dangerous, like smoke, leakage, anything like that. Then they stabilized the car. They opened up the hood, the trunk. They went into the back, make sure anything was, in order.
And at the same time, the paramedics were also checking up on the two, making sure they were all right. Then checking up on ourselves and the other gentleman that assisted us too, just to make sure that we didn't get hurt in the process.
Right. The gentleman actually was with us. He received a cut on his hand. Michael here received some on his hands also, and then in his ankle. He got a little bit of cut on the glass, and then I actually had a cut on my thigh.
All right.
Nothing too serious.
What were you thinking when you realized the situation as it happened?
I really had no time to think. I just
There was
acted
no
on
really
instinct.
time to think, like he was saying. It was just time to react.
Right. Our training has actually helped us out a lot with that. We think before we act, we know what we're doing. It's just immediate.
It's like a sixth sense for
Right.
us.
So in the training that you're talking about, do you prepare for these situations constantly in your JROTC class or in
Not
any
for
other
these
classes that
said
you take?
situations, but for any like first aid, anything like that. Any sort of instances like this.
Similar ones to it, yes.
Right.
Yes.
Were you worried about your own lives in the process as this happened?
Not really.
It was, like we said earlier, it was more of us just reacting. We really
Right.
didn't have time to think about ourselves. Of course, we wanted to make sure we were safe, but they came before us just because the way we were reacting to the situation.
All right. Did you receive any praise for your actions?
Not really. Just some thanks from the couple. That was about it. Police didn't ask us for any statements or anything, which was okay with us.
It's fine. As long as they were okay,
Right.
I really don't care. And I don't think he does either. As long as they were all right, we're fine. Everybody was good.
What do you guys think that you took away from this experience?
I don't know, I guess like a more of respect for the unexpected, and really anything can happen even when you least expect it. I
Plus,
never expected
also pay attention to training because you never know when you get to use it in real life.
it. Right.
All right, cool. Thank you guys for coming out today.
It's my pleasure.
No problem.
All right, cool. I'm Kathy here talking with Brendan and Mike about their heroic acts. Now back to the Eagle's Eye.